I found this book on Apple Books. It's a Lumen document, or has to do with Lumen Industries. It's Severance, the Lexington Letter. So this is an interesting story. It involves Peggy Margaret, Peggy. She's in her 50s. She's a school bus driver in Topeka, Kansas. And she hits some black ice, and the bus skids and it goes into a ditch. Nobody's hurt or killed or anything, but she's sort of called down by her supervisor for that. So she decides to get out of the bus driving business and finds an ad for Lumen Industries and advertising severance, how she can get work and get this other job, this high paying job, and no particular experience is required, and all you have to do is get this thing and plant it into your memory center of your brain. So well, she goes ahead and does this, and everything's sort of fine, I guess, for a couple of years into this, as the story goes here. And she is, when she was a child, she'd written a code of odd little letters for herself, and so somehow her innie, the person she is when she's working for at the severance place, is called an innie, and then there's an outie who is herself when she's out and not working anymore, in this sort of radical separation of the workplace and the person place. So she ends up leaving work and finding in her pocket a message written in this childhood code by herself, by the innie, and the innie is a little bit distressed by what's going on, and so we find out that there's been a bombing of a like a Lumen competitor's truck somewhere, and that somehow this due to the Audi, Margaret Peggy has sort of wonders if this due to the timing being quite similar, wondering if this has something to do with what she's doing as an innie at the Lumen location. So she sets up a real back and forth correspondence with her innie in this code, and this you're not allowed to communicate with the innies, and the outies are not allowed to communicate, and there's actually a code detector software or something in the elevator you go in to go from transition from when they turn on your severance thing, when you're going into work and become the innie personality. Uh, so but somehow this coded message that she wrote as a child got through because they didn't recognize it as a message or something. But the software gets upgraded and they get caught later, and but the innie manages to release an internal document. So now we have this document that Lumen gives to the severance people that explains their work, explains what they're supposed to be doing, how they're supposed to react emotionally to the numbers. They sit at a computer terminal, and there's numbers that swirl around in front of them, and they pick certain numbers and react emotionally in some sort of emotional way to the numbers after the numbers are either making them happy. They use their intuition. So the numbers either make them happy, the numbers make them sad, the numbers make them upset. There's certain criteria of what the numbers are supposed to do, and then they circle the numbers and put them down into a bin. And then after they've succeeded, they're partly done. They can get sort of little perks from work that are all basically stupid and very childish because the workers the innies are kind of children because they don't have a past. Their memories of their outie life is obliterated, so they really just know about what they're doing at work, and they don't really know about their past and everything that goes on. So that's what goes on. Unfortunately, Margaret does not live through all this, but we do have the document now of the internal workings of Lumen. So we see a little bit more about what's going on with Lumen, what's going on with the severance workers, what exactly they're up to. Although we know the mechanism of what they're doing, although we don't know exactly the results, but we're getting a picture that the results are actually somewhat or very sinister and really not something that the outies are going to be doing. Only the innocent and controlled innies are going to be doing that because they are shielded from the facts of what's really going on that can only be known about in the outer world by the outies. So that was kind of interesting, and yeah, it's available in Apple Books, and you can read it yourself if you want. Thank you for watching.